Oh. Oh, Mother and Grandfather are still here. Und damit begrüße ich euch recht herzlich zu einer weiteren Folge von Let's Play The Legend of Heroes Trades of Cold Steel 1. Ich habe mich kurzerhand für eine kleine Planänderung entschieden, denn ich habe angefangen, die ersten Szenen, die ich heute alle zusammenschneiden wollte, zu capturen und werde daraus separate Bonusfolgen machen. Wir spielen also heute ganz normal das Spiel weiter und irgendwann im Laufe der nächsten Tage kommen dann Bonusparts online, die uns besagte Szenen zeigen. Und eine davon werden wir selbstverständlich hier und heute zusammenschauen. Welche das sein wird, werde ich noch nicht verraten. Vielleicht habe ich das vorher schon mal gemacht. Lasst euch einfach überraschen. Wir gucken aber erstmal, was hier und heute passiert. My dad too. And my brother, though I can't imagine why. Elliot, Crow, I just wanted to thank you for everything you've done for us.
You mean for the concert?
What brought that on? You got so serious there, I was getting kind of scared.
It's just that our performance today never would have been possible without the two of you guiding it along. I wanted to make sure that you knew how much I appreciate you doing that.
Damn, man. Is making people feel awkward a hobby of yours or something?
Aw, it's no big deal. Besides, it was a real team effort. Everyone played a part. I mean, look at you. You were a fountain of good advice through this whole thing. And honestly, I should be the one thanking everyone.
Huh?
You all helped me rediscover just how much music means to me. Because it's not just about performing by myself. It's about performing together, playing off each other's strengths to make something wonderful. So I should be the one thanking you. This never would have happened if I didn't come to this academy.
Elliot.
Holy hell, are you guys trying to see who can make me cringe the hardest?
Elliot, my boy, your father's arms are ready and waiting for you to leap into them.
Does he always have to say that stuff so loudly? Sorry, I'll see you later, okay?
Yeah, later. This year's festival's been a blast. I'm kinda hoping we can do the same thing next year too. Though, who knows if Class 7 is even going to exist next year. Crow?
Oh, yeah. Generally, people stay in the same class from their first day to their graduation, but Class 7's basically one giant exception to everything the school's ever done, so who knows?
I guess that has its pluses and its minuses. But no matter what, it's not going to be the same. We won't have you.
If I manage to graduate, at least. Barring any nasty surprises, I'll be in Class 7 till the end of the month. Which means our time as classmates is almost up.
Now that you mention it, yeah. We'll have to see if we can throw you a farewell party around the end of the month then. Can't let you off easy.
Come on, it's no big deal. Trust me, you're still gonna see more than enough of me next year. Sure, I'll have moved out of the dorms, but I'll be sure to stop by once a week to steal some of Sharon's cooking.
You better. Oh, and by the way, I'm not going to have to call you Mr. Armbrust or anything after you graduate, am I? I mean, we've spent so much time together that treating you like a proper adult just wouldn't feel right.
Of course not. And if I ever catch you calling me Mr. Armbrust again, I'm gonna smack you. Oh, yeah. Guess it's about time I gave you this back.
Isn't this? Ja, das erste Kennenlernen, die erste Begegnung. I completely forgot about it. You've done so much for me since then, saving Elise, helping with the concert. Compared to all that, 50 MEHR is nothing.
The feeling's mutual. Besides, I never return the mirror that I borrow. Makes that coin extra special. So go on, take it.
Oh, by the way, you know there was interest on this, right? How much do you suppose you really owe me after half a year?
Oh man, what kind of racket are you running here anyway? I thought you were supposed to be a good kid.
Well, there's this one second year who's taught me a thing or two about making money. To be honest, it feels kind of lonely to think that everything between us is completely settled and done with. So, what do you say? You still owe me?
I swear, the things I do for love. Alright, you'll get your stupid interest someday. Maybe.
Stille. Für kurze Zeit zumindest, denn jetzt wird abgedanced. Außer Class 7. Die halten sich noch vornehm zurück. Mal gucken, wie lange noch.
Alphen, I am drawn to the party before us like a moth to a flame, like a starving man to a banquet, like beauty to me. What say you we grace the dancers with the gift of our company?
It's as though you read my mind.
Come now, don't waste your time watching. It's time to dance.
No need to worry about formalities tonight. Let's all relax, enjoy ourselves, and maybe let a few secrets slip.
Allow me, Sharon, before every red-blooded boy in this school lines up for a chance.
It would be my honor.
Madam Chairman, might I have this dance?
Of course. Given that our former partners left the dance all too soon, we seem to make for an appropriate pair.
I suppose you're right.
Instructor, I cannot thank you enough for all you've done for my daughter. I can, however, ask you for the pleasure of this dance.
Really? Ooh, he's just my type, too.
Hmm?
Oh, just talking to myself. Well, I'll be dancing with all my little kittens by the end of the night. But I suppose I can let you take the first dance.
Well, I don't mind. But seeing you in that dress is enough to make any guy feel intimidated.
They waste no time, do they?
It's no surprise that my grandfather made a beeline for Sharon, but I never expected to see Mother dancing.
In some ways, it seems as though they're younger than we are.
Looks like everyone's having fun, though. Shall we join them?
You've given me more than enough of your time already today. Between showing me around and your incredible concert, You must be exhausted. And besides, I'm sure there's someone else you'd rather dance with here. Why not ask them instead?
Someone else. Oh, guck mal, wie klein und übersichtlich das ist. Ich glaube, wenn du in NG Plus startest, dann hast du irgendwie auch so eine Riesenliste dann vor der Nase und kannst zwischen allen wählen. Aber wenn ich das jetzt so grob überfliege, dann sind hier alle Endings oder alle Szenen noch mit dabei, die mir persönlich noch fehlen. Und ich glaube, für jede einzelne gibt es dann auch noch mal eine Trophäe. Wir werden uns heute aber Alisa angucken. Das einzige Mädel aus der Reihe, weil ich glaube, pro Durchgang kannst du nur maximal 6 oder so freischalten. Und ich habe beim ersten Mal halt alle anderen, die jetzt hier nicht auf der Liste stehen, übrigens inklusive Towa und inklusive Sarah, hier auf der Liste mit drauf gehabt. Und ja, heute kommt jetzt auch für mich eine neue Szene, denn wir werden Alisa um einen Tanz bitten. Mal gucken.
I knew it. So, I have a potential sister-in-law now, do I?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Still, maybe you're right. Maybe I will go ask her. I do feel kind of bad leaving you here on your own, though.
I'm fine, really. Besides, if you spend all this time worrying about me, the music will be over by the time you ask.
Well, okay. Lass mich raten, es dauert keine 3 Sekunden, bis Alisa rot wird. Und völlig überrascht ist.
He's such an idiot. Ah, oh, Elise. Your Highness? The generally accepted strategy here would be to keep his eyes on you, not push him toward another girl's tender embrace. If you were to only gather the courage to ask him, I'm certain that he would be more than accommodating. It's fine. I'm fine, honestly.
Alisa? Rain, is your sister okay? Yeah, actually, she's the only reason I had the courage to come over here. Would you dance with me? Ah, hahaha, guck mal auf ihre Bäckchen. What? Me? That was the idea. Is that a no? Alright, let's get a little closer to the bonfire then. Okay. Tja, ja. Und da ist der Moment, den sie wahrscheinlich schon lange herbeigesehnt hat, dem sie entgegengefiebert hat, wollte ich eigentlich sagen. Und Irene, keine Ahnung, wir entscheiden ja als Spieler, ob sein Herz wirklich am meisten für sie schlägt. Das weiß man nicht. Das wird vermutlich auch in den späteren Teilen dann eher Spielerentscheidung bleiben. Aber ja, ich bleib dabei. Ich finde, die würden ein gutes Paar abgeben, aber da gehen die Meinungen wohl etwas auseinander. Ich freue mich sehr darauf, wenn ich irgendwann mal alle Cold Steel Spiele abgeschlossen habe und online mal so ein bisschen auf Meinungsfang gehen kann, weil aktuell traue ich mich das noch nicht wegen Spoilerangst und so. Haha, everyone's still at it.
I wish I still had that much energy left. Still, it's not like there's a lot more festival to use it on. It's strange. It feels like the whole year's been building up to this festival, but...
Yeah, it was felt like it was over in the blink of an eye. But both the festival and the year as a whole.
Exactly. It won't be long until the second years graduate and we'll be in their shoes. Time really does fly.
Yeah. It's hard to believe so many months have passed since we all first met, but I do have to wonder whether any of us have gotten any closer to figuring out what we're going to do with our lives.
I wish I knew.
I might have looked confident when I told Mother that I'd show her how to run the company by the time I graduated. But that was in the heat of the moment. I honestly don't know whether I'd drive Reinford straight into the ground or not.
How could you know? Still,
there's one thing I do know. No matter how difficult the odds, our class always finds a way through. Growing up should be no different.
you stole my line.
I think you need some new material. I'm getting used to your speeches by now. Well, that, and I believe it. I think everything is going to work out as long as our class is together. As long as you and I are together. Forget I said anything.
Elisa. Rain took Elisa's hand gently in his. Oh. Then let's stay together. We're still looking for our places in the world, but maybe they're right next to each other.
I hope so.
Me too. Ich weiß gar nicht, ob er die Hand der anderen Mädels oder Leute, mit denen er hier tanzt, auch nimmt am Ende. Das werdet ihr dann sehen in dem Übersichtsvideo. Da werde ich dann auch die Alisa-Szene auch nochmal mit reinbauen, natürlich. Ah, guck mal, da ist auch die Trophäe. Das ist der Beweis dafür, dass ich das noch nie gesehen habe. After that, I went back to see Elise. But by then, that memorable evening was approaching its end.
Reen? Elise?
Claire?
Good evening, Captain. You must be exhausted.
Oh, well, it's not as though I performed on stage in front of an auditorium full of people or anything. I really enjoyed your concert, by the way. That's the kind of thing that makes me proud to be an alumni.
Wait, what? You were a student here? Ah, jetzt hört sie auf einmal auf zu synchronisieren. Immer wieder faszinierend. That's right, I was part of the Academy's 216th graduating class. And since you'll be part of its 21st, genau. I suppose that makes me 5 years your senior. I had no idea. Why didn't you mention it until just now? Given that we only ever met while you were on your field studies, it didn't seem pertinent. Besides, once people graduate, they tend to leave their ties to their school behind, especially here at Thor's. Because it's a military academy? Exactly, roughly 40% of the graduates here go on to join the military. Not always the same branch or even the same army. About 30% join the Imperial Army and 10% go to a provincial force. Students who were best friends one day might find themselves enemies the next. Rain. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to kill your happy mood like this. But I'm sure you're well aware of what may lie ahead. That we're teetering on the brink of an era of upheaval. I'm aware. Does this have something to do with the issues in Crossbell I've been hearing about? Yes, amongst other things. It seems as though everyone on the continent is ready to go to war with everyone else. Da hat uns aber Oliver beim letzten Mal noch was anderes gesagt, ne? Wahrscheinlich, um uns vor dem Konzert zu beruhigen, weil der meinte, dass es eher nicht danach aussieht, als würde es auf Krieg hinauslaufen. But that's why it's so important that we're able to stand strong, no matter what happens. Though, judging by how well Class 7 has performed on their field studies, I'm sure you'll all be fine in that regard. Here's hoping that I get the chance to help you out again sometime. Even if I have to be careful not to draw the ire of that instructor of yours while I'm doing so. Jetzt muss ich selber lachen und Reen auch. I'm just glad to know that you have our back. Thank you for that. You're quite welcome. Telephone. Please excuse me a moment. Yes, Revert speaking. What? What's going on? And you're certain of this? Understood. I will return at once. Yes, I will escort them back to Flame Palace myself. I'm afraid I have to excuse myself. Das war wohl kein allzu positiver Anruf. Da hat es jemand sehr, sehr eilig. Kann kein gutes Zeichen sein. Und die Musik verändert sich. Und spätestens jetzt weiß man, dass irgendwas nicht in Ordnung ist, ne? Das war's dann wohl mit der ausgelassenen Stimmung. I'm really sorry, Elise. My brothers requested that we return to Heimdall right away. But as we're going back by car, I thought I'd offer you a ride home. But... Elise, I think you should go back with them for now. I'll call you later to make sure you're okay. Well, alright. Sorry to drop this on you so quickly, Reen. I'm sure someone from the academy will fill you in shortly. Fill me in on what? If you'll excuse us. Don't worry, we'll be sure to get Elise back to the academy safely. Alle so kurz angebunden. Also wenn Oliver nicht mal für einen kleinen Witz zu haben ist, oder für irgendeinen kleinen Schwenk oder so, dann, ja, scheint das etwas von größerer Tragweite zu sein. Aber irgendwie war ja klar, dass das nicht bis zum Schluss Friede, Freude, Eierkuchen bleibt, oder? Rain! Anwesend. Does anyone have any idea what's going on? I'm afraid not. I've never seen Father behave like that before. My mother's the same way. She got a message of some kind and just changed. Dito, my father, I think it was someone from Heimdall who got in touch with him. One thing is certain, something terrible has happened. My dad turned pale and was gone before I could ask what happened. It sounded like he received a report from Instructor Neidhart, though. Hold on, Neidhart's supposed to be... he was at Guerrilla Fortress with his 4th Armored Division on some sort of mission, right? Speaking of, has anyone seen Towa or Instructor Sarah? Nicht wirklich, jetzt. Da sind sie beide, oder? Ich habe gerade nur Sarah gesehen. Towa ist so klein, die versinkt förmlich hinter Sarah.
Students and visitors, I cannot thank you enough for your attendance today. I hereby proclaim the 127th Thor's Military Academy Festival complete.
Und weiter? Spannen Sie uns nicht auf die Folter, Sie wissen doch mehr.
But I am afraid I must announce this with a heavy heart, as we have just received word from the Imperial Government that this evening, Guerrilla Fortress, which rests on the eastern border of the Empire, has been destroyed. No, destruction is an inadequate word. An unknown weapon has erased the fortress in its entirety from existence. I would ask that all of our guests, from that region or otherwise, please try to remain calm.
Tja, das muss man erstmal schlucken, ne? Ich meine, alles, was wir über Guerrilla Fortress erfahren haben im Spiel, alles zielte darauf ab, dass das Ding unzerstörbar, unkaputtbar, übermächtig ist, die wahrscheinlich am besten verteidigte Hochburg auf der ganzen großen, weiten Welt, zumindest gefühlt. Und dann so eine Nachricht. Was soll das bitte für eine Waffe gewesen sein? Das sind so die Dinge, die mir durch den Kopf gegangen sind. Und im Detail kriegst du ja auch nicht die Antworten drauf. Also, ja, ich nehme mal nicht zu viel vorweg, aber wir gucken mal. In the days that follow, tension gripped the nation like never before. A photo of the gaping chasm left where Guerrilla Fortress once stood made the Imperial Chronicles front page. And the sight of the aftermath was enough to fill the citizens with a sense of inescapable dread. All the while, unconfirmed reports that several armored divisions had attempted to invade Crossbell had begun to spread. And in every one of those reports, the message was the same. They had been repelled almost effortlessly. Erebonia was starting to feel the effects of the IBC's acid freeze too, and things didn't look good for the economy. As things stood, it was only a matter of time before we faced a spike in corporate bankruptcies and record unemployment. Faced with this crisis, the Imperial government and the officials in Heimdall began working to remedy the situation. Rumors were also spreading that Erebonia's longtime enemy, the Calvert Republic, had thrown its weight behind Crossbell. And with the fortress that once served to safeguard the Empire gone, many speculated that an invasion was only a matter of time. Tja, in den normalen Alltag zurückkehren wird vor dem Hintergrund nicht so leicht, ne? I can't take this anymore. Where is she? Homeroom was supposed to start ages ago. Sie wird einen guten Grund haben. I'm not surprised she's late. The instructors are probably all busy trying to figure out what to do. That seems more than likely. This morning's meeting has already blown past its normal ending time. It's still hard for me to believe all of this is really happening. Having been there, the idea that Guerrilla Fortress just vanished is difficult to comprehend. Not all of it, I heard. There are still some parts left and almost untouched. But Instructor Neidhart making it out of there alive was nothing short of a miracle, though. Those huge railway guns were part of the section that's gone too. If I hadn't seen the pictures, it would be kinda hard to believe. What kind of weapon is even capable of doing something like that? I found myself doubtful that any human could create something so powerful. We just don't know. All we do know is that it's impossible to make a weapon that powerful even with today's most advanced orbit technology. And yet, here we are with just such a weapon in the hands of what's always been seen as a mere vassal state. The Imperial Army has the work cut out for them, I'll say that much. I'm worried about what's going on in the capital too. It sounds like there have been even more demonstrations going on there these past few days. Down with Crossbell, they say. Point our guns toward the east. Is there even any truth to those rumors that Calvert's planning an invasion? I am pretty sure it's all nonsense, but considering how there have been tensions between us and them for years, people are just more inclined to believe it. Rumors are just that. We need to be careful not to be misled oder so by half-truths and speculation. If possible, we should find out exactly what's happening for ourselves. Yeah. Over the year, we've seen how things are across the Empire with our own eyes, and now's as good a time as any to put that knowledge to use. Well said. We've had quite the education in getting to the truth behind all the headlines. That seems to have been a running theme of most of our field studies. Still, we seem to be missing 2 of our illustrious members. Stimmt. Wir sind nicht vollzählig. Well, there's nothing strange about Gro's habitual truancy. Or did he already transfer back to his original class? No, he said he was going to be with us through the end of the month. As for Milliam, though, I'm not sure. You don't think it's something to do with the intelligence division, do you? Well, she is an agent of theirs. So rum. It's kinda easy to forget that, given how she usually is. It does concern me that none of us have seen her. Sorry to keep you waiting. Alles gut. Ich glaube, nur Makias ist böse. Oh, Instructor. Are we starting homeroom? Not today, I'm afraid. All classes have been cancelled. You can either stay here in the building and study until school's out, or go back to the dorm. So, wait. Has something happened? Not yet, but it will. Chancellor Osborne's going to be addressing the nation from Dreykott's Plaza at noon. It's set to be broadcast across the entire empire. A national address? Sounds pretty serious. And given the timing... Indeed, it's not hard to imagine what's on his agenda. Come on, guys, straighten up. Also, ich könnte mit dem, was wir jetzt aktuell wissen, eigentlich ehrlich gesagt gar nicht sagen, was auf seiner Agenda steht, aber Justus hat da vielleicht einen besseren Riecher für. You're students of Doris Military Academy and that makes you all cadets. Whatever careers you choose, military or civilian, you need to know how to act decisively in an emergency. So right now, I don't want you to look away from what's happening in the world. I want you to face it straight. Aber der Verantwortung hat sich doch auch gerade niemand entzogen, oder? Will do. You're right, now's not the time to lose heart. As for Osborne's speech, apparently we'll be setting up radios in each classroom so the students can listen to the national address. So if you want to follow along, be sure to be back here by noon. I suppose I might as well listen to it here then. Same here, I don't even have a radio. I do, but for something like this, I'd rather not listen to it alone. Macht wahrscheinlich auch Sinn. Well then, we can all share in the joy of hearing the melodious voice of our esteemed Chancellor. Maybe I should haul in some beer and snacks, that's the only way I'll stay sane through the entire broadcast. Ach mal, jeder hat seine eigene Art und Weise, mit sowas umzugehen. What should we do about Crow and Milliam, though? None of us have seen either of them all day. Do you know where they are? Can't say I do. Crow's practically made a career out of playing hooky, but I did see Milliam earlier this morning. Oh, so she's still on campus? At least that means she wasn't called away by the intelligence division. I'd been thinking along those lines, but when I asked her, she just shrugged and said no news from the top. I doubt she's wandered off too far. Yes, but lest you forget, she excels at giving us the runaround. At least it doesn't sound like she's in trouble. We're probably worried over nothing. We'll just have to tell them we're meeting here at noon if we run into them before then. Yeah, will do. Wenn das Wörtchen wenn nicht wär. Spannend. I guess everyone's going to check in with their clubs. Looks like I have some free time. Might as well see if I can track down Crow and Milliam. At least it sounds like Milliam is probably somewhere on campus. Crow, though, he could be anywhere. Probably best to check with Toa and George first. Maybe they know something. Ja, vielleicht aber auch nicht. Ich muss sagen, das ist jetzt eine der Stellen im Spiel, wo es mir damals am allermeisten in den Fingern gejuckt hat, hier alles komplett zu skippen und einfach nur auf die Ziele zuzugehen, um schnellstmöglich zu erfahren, was diese Verkündung hier soll von Osborne. Aber wir bleiben natürlich gründlich. Ich werde jetzt hier trotzdem an dem vermeintlich letzten Tag eventuell, Fragezeichen, 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 mit allen nochmal sprechen. A fragile flower such as myself cannot bloom on the battlefield. Perhaps it would be wise to return home while I still can. No, I cannot let my chance for a fateful encounter with the perfect man slip through my fingers. Two lovers thrust together by the looming shadow of war. Just imagine the possibilities, the stories we could tell our kids. Wow, die gibt echt nicht auf, ne? Die kann aus jeder Krise, aus jeder Situation irgendeinen romantisierenden Gedanken noch herausholen und die Kreativität und vor allen Dingen den Optimismus muss man erstmal mitbringen, ja? So, Tagchen. Ach, das ist Rosin. I find myself worrying about how the children are taking all the news of late. Sister Ornella seems awfully worn out because of it all. At times like these, the very least I can do is make my way along to the church. Hopefully I will at least be able to provide some solace to those who are suffering. As an apprentice sister, I wish to do all I can for those around me. Hopefully someone such as myself can provide some... Achso, das hat sie gerade eben schon mal gesagt. Naja, jeder kann im Rahmen seiner Möglichkeiten gucken, wie er mit solchen Situationen umgeht, ne? Ich glaube, Reen ist am ehesten dafür geeignet, es anderen Leuten ein offenes Ohr zu schenken. Aber ob das alleine hilft? Before all this, I was worried about what I was going to do after graduating. But who knows what's going to happen after the Chancellor's speech today? Sorry, we second years are supposed to be the ones supporting your first years at times like this, not vice versa. Naja, am Ende sind wir alle nur Menschen, ne? Da ist dann egal, wer in welcher Klasse ist. There have been a ton of bad rumors floating around lately, but now it feels like they might have been right. Nobody really knows what's going to happen, so we're all a bit anxious. Wisst ihr noch, wie lange der letzte Bossfight am Ende des Old School Hauses zurückliegt? Ich dachte damals, dass dann das Spiel danach schon vorbei wäre. Und wie lange spielen wir seitdem noch? Also, das Ende war definitiv noch nicht so weit. I've heard they're gathering on Banker Street in Heimdall for more protests and demonstrations. My dad's been really busy too, though that doesn't come as much of a surprise. I doubt I'll have much time to just relax and enjoy good music if war breaks out, will I? Elliot. Sorry, there's not really much point in getting worried right now, huh? Besides, I've got this feeling, you know, like everything will be okay as long as Class 7 sticks together. Guess the best thing to do right now is just keep calm. Right, whatever happens, we'll stick it out together. Ja, also, aber nicht die vollständige Klasse, ne? Weil 2 Mitglieder sind ja außen vor, noch. There's still some time to go before the Chancellor's speech. I can't shake this uneasy feeling, but I guess right now the best thing we can do is keep calm. Ja, viel mehr bleibt uns ja am Ende des Tages auch nicht übrig, ne? Aber jeder hat halt auch wiederum andere Mittel und Wege, um sich selber zu beruhigen. It's really scary to think that a war might break out. Maybe I should go home to Mom and Dad in Ruhe. But as a super niece, I can't just leave Uncle Makarov here alone to fend for himself. Ja, so viele Verpflichtungen, die Kleine, ne? We can't take any chances now that Karelia Fortress has been destroyed. Worst case scenario, I just drag Uncle Makarov back home with me. Ja, naja, weiß ich nicht. Vielleicht ist das gar nicht mal die allerdümmste Idee in so einer Situation. Ich weiß es nicht. It would seem that we are truly on the verge of war. Why must the world be filled with such tragedy? I joined this academy to spread the joys of love, not prepare my students for the horrors of war. So schnell kann das leider manchmal gehen. My family is demanding that I return home now that the situation has taken a turn for the worse. However, I could never bring myself to abandon my students at a time like this. I will be here listening to the Chancellor's speech right alongside them. Right alongside them. Fange ich jetzt schon mit Stottern an hier. Ist aber auch nicht das erste Mal. Ich nehme heute übrigens... Ich habe die Folge heute angefangen aufzunehmen um kurz nach 6 Uhr morgens, ne? Also wisst ihr Bescheid. Falls irgendwas anders anmutet als sonst. Das könnte die Uhrzeit sein. So, wen haben wir hier? Nicholas. William, I'm sorry. I'm afraid I haven't seen her today. That's not unusual, though. Today's technically an ordinary school day, so she wouldn't have been here anyway. Ach so? William, I'm sorry. I'm afraid I haven't seen her today. Anyway, okay. Stimmt, ich glaube das letzte Mal... Wobei, nee, das letzte Mal haben wir sie nicht hier angetroffen. Ich weiß es nicht mehr, aber sie stand eine Zeit lang mal hier hinterm Herd und hat ein bisschen was zubereitet. Hey Gaius, I'm thinking back to how I felt during our field study in Nord. I really don't want to see a war break out. Not just for Nord's sake, but for Erebonia's too. After all, this country feels like a second home to me now. I really don't want to see a war break out. Ich glaube, da sprichst du stellvertretend für ganz, ganz viele Studenten hier an der Akademie, die von außerhalb, sage ich mal, hierher gekommen sind und trotzdem so eine Art Bindung zu dem Ort und zu dem Land hier auch aufgebaut haben. Well, I really don't care. The only thing I care about is dedicating myself completely to my work, body and soul. Perhaps you should focus on what's most important to you at the moment too. Gut, der zweite Teil ihrer Aussage, der ist irgendwo nachvollziehbar und sicherlich auch irgendwo sinnvoll, aber das, was sie am Anfang gesagt hat, so, oh, mir doch egal, was draußen passiert, also, die ist echt nicht mehr ganz knusper in der Birne, glaube ich. Also hat sich vorher schon abgezeichnet, aber damit hat sie, finde ich, gerade so ein bisschen den Vogel abgeschossen. Aber da sind wir wieder schnell beim Thema, jeder hat seine anderen Art und Weisen, mit Extremsituationen umzugehen. Guck mal, 2 Leute stehen hier. Ah, Emma und Celine. Wisst ihr vielleicht mehr? Emma?
Reen?
Hey, Emma. Wasn't expecting to find you here. Oh, you've got Celine there too?
Well, she just kind of made her way up here. I was just giving her a little attention while I took a break. You're looking for Crow and Milliam, I take it?
Yeah, I have no idea where to even start though. Those two are always up to something. Oh well, I'm sure I run into them eventually.
Good luck in your search.
Danke. Hey Emma, is something bothering you?
Well, it's about Crossbell. I'm concerned about any weapon that could annihilate a fortress the size of Karelia, of course. But I'm almost more concerned about the whole sequence of events that led up to that. It almost feels like something's hand is guiding all of this to happen in a very specific way. Don't let it get to you, okay? I think maybe all the novels I've been reading lately have just made me paranoid.
Nah, you raise a good point, one worth keeping in mind, I think. Anyway, I'll catch you later. As soon as I find Crow and Milliam, I'll head back to the classroom with them.
Alright, I'll be waiting for you.
Ich finde das auch gar nicht so abwegig, was sie gesagt hat. Ich meine, die Ereignisse im Old School House und dann kurz darauf, das, was mit Karelia Fortress passiert ist. Also wenn sie diese beiden Events meint, ich würde mich auch fragen, ob es da vielleicht irgendwie einen Zusammenhang gibt.
The government scheduled to broadcast their announcement at noon. I do have some things weighing on my mind right now, but this doesn't seem like the time to be thinking about them. Make sure you're back in time to hear the broadcast, okay?
Ja, das ist der Plan. Also, erstens ist Reen vermutlich eh immer überpünktlich und zweitens würde er niemals den Rest der Klasse im Stich lassen, ne? Wenn es darum geht, Zusammenhalt und Einigkeit walten zu lassen und sich dem gemeinsam hinzugeben, was da verkündet wird. So, hier ist auf der rechten Seite tote Hose, dann können wir gleich nach links abbiegen. Hallo Thomas oder Thomas. They say a sizable chunk of Karelia Fortress was eradicated so completely it's as if it were never there. It's hard to believe such a feat would be possible with artifacts or magic from the Dark Ages, let alone modern technology. It might be a different story if the Septarians were involved, however. Septarians. Hier hören wir in Code-Stil, glaube ich, zum ersten Mal davon. In Trails in the Sky war das schon Thema. What on earth is a Septarian? Well, there's something of a myth known only to archaeologists and those of us who study ancient legends. The Septarian are said to be 7 all-powerful treasures bestowed upon humanity by Eidos herself. Legend has it that those who possessed these treasures used them to gain dominion over the sky, the sea, and the earth. It's hard to imagine something that powerful could even exist. It's certainly more exciting to imagine a Septarian is behind this instead of a weapon made by Crossbell or the Republic, although, to be honest, the chances of that are practically nil. Even so, my mind keeps wandering back to the orbital shutdown phenomenon that occurred in Liber 2 years ago, Vita Trails in the Sky. Perhaps the two incidents are related somehow? They couldn't be. Naja, inzwischen würde ich in dieser unübersichtlichen Gemengelage eigentlich gar nichts mehr ausschließen wollen.
I'm rather concerned about the future of the Academy. The worst case scenario would see the Academy closing its doors for an indefinite length of time. I'm sure it would dishearten the faculty and students alike. None of us can tell with certainty what's going to happen from here. As such, it seems like the best course of action is to plan out our responses to any possible situation. Das ist wohl so. Beatrix, was sagen Sie? Wollen wir noch mal eine Runde Tee trinken, um ein bisschen runterzukommen? Geht das? Guerrilla Fortress has been annihilated, likely taking its commander's life with it. To make matters worse, Crossbell has blocked off the Transcontinental Railroad and put extra pressure on the economy. It seems that this nation has more than enough excuses now. And how unfortunate that is. The Chancellor's speech will likely change the course of history. I'd rather not exert myself so much. I'm not as young as I used to be. Aufregende Zeiten auf jeden Fall. Und ja, ich komme langsam auf den Punkt zu, wo ich ein bisschen hibbelig werde, weil ich noch ganz genau weiß, wie schwer es war, das Pad aus der Hand zu legen, nachdem ich das Spiel hier abgeschlossen habe. Und es wird nicht mehr allzu lange dauern, bis ich frei darüber sprechen kann, warum, wieso, weshalb. I feel Chancellor Osborne's predictions may have been right, and the turbulent times that he spoke of are at hand. But do not fear, we are a military academy, we are well prepared for emergencies. All you can do for now is remain calm and wait for the speech at noon. Chancellor Osborne's predictions seem to have been right. The turbulent times he spoke of may indeed be it. Achso, das ist wieder. However, we each have our own duties to fulfill right now. They should be our priority for the sake of a better future. Naja, ich weiß nicht. Ich glaube, die Leute, die uns alle dazu einladen, ruhig zu bleiben und die Fassung zu wahren, die sind wahrscheinlich innerlich selber auch gar nicht so ruhig, aber was willst du machen? Ich würde auch versuchen, mit gutem Beispiel voranzugehen, vor allen Dingen, wenn ich einer der Instructor oder so wäre. Well, not much we can do now, but wait till noon for the Chancellor's broadcast. I'd rather not hear his voice spilling out over the airwaves, but this is too important to miss. Haha, you really don't like him, do you? He was the one who picked a fight with me, and I'm not going to let him forget it. I've got every intention of returning the favor after what he did to the Bracer Guild in Heimdall. Just thinking about it makes me want to punch something. Maybe I should have brought a beer to the classroom after all, or maybe a whole keg. Don't look now, but Vice Principal Heinrich is giving you the evil eye. Naja, ist ja Standard, das kennst du ja wahrscheinlich nicht anders. Things have gotten pretty crazy recently, but I don't want you to look away. You need to understand what's happening. The student council's handing out a radio to every class, so don't worry about finding one for yourself. Just make sure you're back in the classroom by noon. Vor allen Dingen, die sprechen alle von noon. Wissen die alle ganz genau, welche Uhrzeit damit gemeint ist? Also ich bräuchte eine Uhrzeit, sonst wüsste ich gar nicht, wann ich mich wieder einfinden soll. I get that you're worried, but try to stay calm. If you want to take a break from the academy, now would be the time to ask your homeroom teacher. Given the way things are going, you'll probably get approval, no questions asked. Right, I should go give the student council a hand. We want to make sure every classroom has access to an orbital radio. Das wäre sicherlich ganz gut. Fällt übrigens gerade ein, weil sie sich gerade so kritisch über Osborne geäußert hat. Eigentlich ist ihr Hate so ein bisschen vergleichbar mit dem der Terroristen, ne? Also die hatten zwar andere Beweggründe, aber ich musste mich gerade zurückerinnern an diese Szene, wo Vulkan uns so ein bisschen erzählt hat, was seine Beweggründe, und Scarlett hat ja auch so ein bisschen aus dem Nähkästchen geplaudert, warum die so auf Anti-Osborne-Kurs sind. Und ja, bei Sarah hat das halt auch in der Vergangenheit irgendwie Impact hinterlassen, ne? Auch wenn das in eine andere Richtung geht, aber trotzdem. Did that instructor of yours not inform you that all classes are cancelled today? You have the option of remaining within the academy for self-study or returning to your dorm until school hours are over. The contents of this speech will determine how this academy will conduct itself going forward. In order to give proper instructions, we need everyone to remain safely ensconced? Keine Ahnung, within the academy. Noch nie gesehen das Wort. Also mindestens einmal schon, aber kann ich nicht einordnen. We have prepared ourselves for a vast assortment of contingencies. Oh Mann, ey. Not that any of that matters to the likes of you. Get back to your classroom. Hör auf, uns wie kleine Kinder zu behandeln. Und er behandelt uns ja nicht nur wie kleine Kinder, er behandelt uns wie kleine Kinder als jemand, der Kinder hasst. So, da ist doch diese Negativität immer noch mit drin. Hallo Neidhart. Instructor Neidhart, I wasn't aware that you'd return to the academy. That I have, Schwarzer. It's good to see you again. Erzähl uns bitte, wie du da rausgekommen bist. Er ist auch der Einzige hier an der Akademie, der vor Ort war und alles mitbekommen hat, oder? It sounds like Class 7 put on quite a performance. Haha, that's very kind of... Oh wait, weren't you in Guerrilla Fortress during the attack? Crossbad's mystery weapon just annihilated it. How are you alive? I was on the training grounds with the rest of the 4th Armored Division at the time. We saw something appear in the sky to the east, and the next moment the fortress was surrounded by a blinding light. I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't seen it myself. I still hardly believe it. I can't bring myself to imagine what would have happened had that light engulfed us. I'm just glad that you weren't hurt, but things must be incredibly busy for the Imperial Army right now. You could say that. Guerrilla Fortress was our primary stronghold in the east, so losing it has us scrambling, especially now that Crossband has proven itself just as much of a threat as Calvert, which is precisely why I'm resigning from my position as an instructor at this academy. Wait, what? It wasn't an easy choice, but it's my duty as a man and as an Erebonian to devote my all to the military in its time of need. Although I do wish I could have been here to see the festival. Instructor Neidhart, I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for us. I'll be praying for your success and your safety. Likewise. I'm sure the future holds challenges that only you and Instructor Veilstein can overcome. Know where you stand and what you are capable of, and brace yourself for whatever the future demands of you. Yes, sir. Okay, spannend. To put it bluntly, the army is in a state of disarray. However, we cannot remain docile when the enemy treads on our land. This isn't just about the army, it's an affront to the entire Erebonian Empire. Know where you stand and what you are capable of. Jetzt, das war auch sein Schlussappell, gerade eben schon. Ja, genau, auf der anderen Seite hat Heinrich noch gesessen. Ich war mir gerade nicht sicher, wer die 4. Person hier in dem Raum war. Ja, spannend. Spannend und aufregend. At the same time. Gehen wir mal gucken, was draußen so abgeht. Wo sind denn überhaupt die Ausrufezeichen jetzt? Vermutlich dort, wo wir unsere beiden vermissten Classmates antreffen könnten. Oder zumindest weitere Hinweise bekommen. Ah, guck mal da. Ach stimmt, uns wurde ja aber gesagt, dass wir wegen Crow mal bei George und Toa nachfragen sollen und Milliam ja im Student Union Buildings-Dings. Okay, die meisten Leute tummeln sich auf dem Field. Das ist ja fast komplett leer im Vergleich zu dem, was hier während des Festivals los war. Aber wen wundert's? Don't let yourselves get too nervous. Every last one of you is a valuable part of this academy. Nobody knows what will happen in the future, but there's no sense in worrying about it now. Leichter gesagt als getan, ne? Sure, things will change if war breaks out. But as of right now, you're still students of Doris Military Academy and very important to all of us. Ja, okay. Ja, es ist so... Ich wüsste halt auch nicht, was ich anstelle der ganzen Leute hier zu den Studenten sagen würde. Vielleicht würde ich auch offen und ehrlich sein und auch sagen, dass ich Angst habe. Vielleicht würde ich mich aber auch stark geben, um den anderen Hoffnung zu machen. Ganz schwer. Ich möchte nie in so eine Situation kommen, wo ich so eine Entscheidung treffen muss, ne? Wo man für sich festlegen muss, wie man damit umgeht. Gut, ihr Lieben, ich werde an dieser Stelle hier auf diesem riesigen Field den Part beenden. Und so ganz langsam können wir vom Endspurt sprechen mit Blick auf die nächste Folge. Ich glaube noch nicht, dass die nächste Folge die letzte sein wird, aber es könnte die vorletzte sein. Wir müssen mal gucken. Auf jeden Fall könnte es passieren, dass ich dann bei der, also in der nächsten Folge, diese 2 Bonusfolgen dann hochladen werde für die Bonfire Seeds. Ich werde das wahrscheinlich nach Jungs und Mädels aufsplitten, weil ein Video dann vielleicht doch ein bisschen zu lang werden wird. Mal schauen, lasst euch einfach überraschen. Auf jeden Fall geht es bald wieder weiter mit Trades of Cold Steel. Ich bedanke mich fürs Einschalten heute und würde mich sehr freuen, wenn ihr auch beim nächsten Mal wieder mit dabei seid. Macht's gut und bis dahin, wenn ihr mögt. Ciao!